Flask, number 32. The last five are the plastic ones, so I don't know if that's gonna lessen the quality. And I still have to get. Yeah, it's been a strange week, and I'm actually shocked to say that tomorrow's already Thursday. You know, I guess time flies a little bit when you're, say, a combination of I don't know, I've been doing stuff that I actually enjoy doing, and when in your brain you go, okay, I'm gonna look at my watch, and right now, if it's not at least 9 o'clock, I'm going to be very disappointed. Oh, son of a bitch. And this whole week is kind of like, okay, it's got to be at least 9 o'clock, right? And look, and it's like 9:40, and I'm like, shit, that's been happening all week long. You know, the job itself is total shit, but when the job is such shit that you realize that there's like no way, me and Greg, it doesn't matter. I mean, we go from shithole to shithole, and we only know how to do things one way. So, makes it real easy when your expectations are always right here, and your low to average work is like right here. Yeah. Okay. It is definitely darker in color. It does have a little bit of the ability to get up there and hang. Now, I've had so many of these IHAP that just either smell really, really mild, or like, this can't possibly be good. Again, and I hate to do it, but this one almost has a Seagram's 7 kind of ish smell. No pun intended. Not really getting a little pepper. Kind of strong on the oak that it was that it spent some time in. Other than that, not really much. So, cheers.
Hey Eric.
Huh?
You got a package.
Yeah.
Huh?
I got a package.
Yeah, but it's really heavy.
God. Is it another fucking toilet?
No, but it's from Amazon. I told you it was heavy. I'm like, I'm not trying to bring that from the stairs.
I didn't order anything from Amazon.
Making it hurt me.
Well, actually, I sort of did. A bottle of Octomore.
A bottle of what?
You know, a $300 bottle of scotch.
Oh yeah, you canceled that hour ago.
Say, any special notes on here?
Well, it just said it's got your name and address. It's from Amazon. I know who sent this. You are so not funny.
So who sent this?
Who do you think?
The usual?
The usual suspect.
And the point was,
Did we talk about this on my radio show? Or your radio show?
I don't know, but as I recall, this is like one of the more disgusting.
Oh, God.
It's not as bad as Moxie. That's total shit.
Yeah, were you talking about it when I had to step away from the...
About Tab Pop? No. I don't remember any conversation about Tab.
Then it was my show.
And last week I didn't listen to almost any of your show because I was like laying in bed going,
I'm dying.
I'm dying. I'm fucking dying here.
Ooh, I'm dying.
Since you're here, you automatically fall into the... Gotta take a guess what it is and how much it costs. See how close you are.
This is really kind of dark in color, isn't it? It's got a smoky smell to it. No, I don't mean like that. Like,
Did I have you try the Lafroig? That one is like smoke. Explain to me later why I got 3 fucking 12 packs of Tab.
I've had this before.
Oh, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what is it?
I don't know. Just kidding. I don't know. I've never had it before, I don't think.
Well, I'm going. My initial guess is that it's a whiskey,
Yeah.
not a bourbon whiskey.
Mm-mm.
Oh shit! I just put that under. I was in the middle of doing this when I was rudely interrupted by Tab. You know, I can actually still think of the word Tab and recall in my brain. I can't remember who it was. I think it was when I worked...
That used to be very popular in the
Oh,
80s,
yeah.
remember? Because there was a whole bunch of girls in my class that drank that shit.
My buddy Troy, my friend that I used to work with, his girlfriend, it's like, he'd go, "You want something to drink?" And I go, "Why are you even wasting your time asking me?" The only thing she ever stocked up was Fresca, and we used to call that sock water, because it tasted like what if you drained something through a sock, and Tab. It was like... And I think she drank it because she was trying to lose weight. And yet, diet sodas are...
I think we talked about this because the girls' dinner party came up. And somehow we were talking about drinks. I don't remember. I have to go back and listen.
It starts off with almost like a mild sweet vanilla that I don't get on the smell. But it's just kind of like, it gives you that flavor. There's not really a roller coaster going on there.
No, it's a burst and it's done.
It gives it to you and then it just dissipates away.
It's a burst that's done.
It's not harsh.
No.
Again, though, it's just... Overall, I think I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Very faithful.
Smooth, mild, and just a little bit of a, like a... See, even to say vanilla, it's just like...
A hint. Put it that
Yeah.
way.
A sweet hint. Thank you for that. Hint of vanilla.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna do wine next.
How was snack bar David?
He's got a package for me that he's gonna drop off on Friday for the girls' dinner party on Saturday that I can't open until we're on the air with John.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what this is?
No.
You're so full of shit.
I know nothing! Senorita? Can't
So
speak it.
I couldn't. Yeah.
Don't even waste your time trying to guess. Trying to guess David Brown anything
Oh, no.
is
no.
just an
You're
exercise
just- yeah.
in fuckality.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think this is a real expensive whiskey.
$30.
You're going 30, I'm going to go 40. Okay.
Now, is he being specific into how he's picking these? Like, are they coming from the States? Are they coming from Canada? Are they coming from the UK? Are they coming from all over? Or
Well, I don't know.
is he doing how is he doing this?
I think he just randomly ran into the liquor store and said to himself, I got evidently too much fucking time and money on my hands, so let's go blow it at the liquor store and send a bunch of shit to Eric. Maker's Mark, Dewar's, Philadelphia Whiskey, Knob Creek Rye, Eagle Rare Bourbon, the Octomore 9.3, King County Peated Rye Bourbon Whiskey. That was
and he said one of those has to still be here when he gets here.
Heavenly Hill Old Style. Oh, that's the Octomore.
Oh, because I told him that we're not drinking that till he gets here because I have to have a birthday drink with him and all the rest of the boys.
Well, I don't know if you had the conversation with him. He said he would expect me to not have drank the entire bottle by the time he's here. And I could easily come home, skip having any beer, pour myself one shot, and enjoy it all the way to bedtime. But I kind of want to keep it for it to stay special. Another one that was fucking phenomenal was the, and I don't know if this is Amrut, the peated single malt whiskey. It has to be, see, I guess Scotch, but because it's from India and not Scotland, they can't call it Scotch. That one I gave it an 8.5. Then the Dunsmore Irish whiskey, and I said that I kind of thought it might have been parts cleaner, and gave it a 2.5. So I don't know. There's no rhyme or Henry McKenna bourbon whiskey, and now we're on this one.
So there's no rhyme or reason to any of it.
Nope. He's been mixing whiskeys and bourbon whiskeys and Scotch whiskeys and.
What are you doing now?
Texting him my thoughts about it and my score, and then he will. See, last one I said, number 31, I think it's a bourbon, really light flavor, vanilla, cinnamon, and a little bit of oak. I gave it a 3.
Then he can take the tab home with him.
Well, maybe what's happening here, this is what he's planning on drinking when he's here.
I'm going to go with no. You funny. Okay.
Hey, you could fill me in, and Nihap will definitely. In the entire time I've known him, I couldn't tell you what his favorite soda is. I know if he doesn't get his fucking coffee, he gets bitchy. And
I've only seen him drink coffee.
Coffee, beer,
and
and whiskey.
Yeah, that's the only 3 things I've ever seen him drink that I can recall. Gee.
Maybe he likes Tab.
No, it's going home with him. I'm sure it was brought up in one of our radio shows.
Well, obviously something gets said that starts the
I
frickin'
bet
hamster on the wheel all the time.
If I go back and look at the comments, I'm sure that his comment is in there about that particular soft drink. Okay, I gotta go put the rest of my decorations up.
This is gonna be a whole live thing like last time, right?
What?
From I mean, is John booked the whole time, or do you actually have like a time sequence in here?
I don't know. I'm just kind of rolling with it. Why? I don't know. Last time I think we were on for 2 hours.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
The gerbil has been released. We'll see what it is. What was that? What was that? Okay.
What?
We're down. Holy shit! The temperature is dropping fast.
I know.
Hey Google, what's the temperature right now?
The current temperature in Duluth is 8 degrees.
That was from 23 when
Yeah.
I got home.
Hey Google, what's the temperature going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow in Duluth, expect a high of 2 and a low of -12.
What do you got?
Hashtag Be Like Ed. Stephen Bush sent that. That was the first one that was ever made.
Oh, nice. What the hell did you do to your gun?
What?
That's ugly.
It's not ugly. This is awesome.
It's fugly.
Okay, I got a question for you.
What? I really hate when you do this.
I have a video. Did you watch the video, by the way?
No, I didn't have time today to watch the video.
No, this would be the I need your help video. Oh, I suppose before I should do that. Do you like that? Or do you like this? First one or second one? She's like, I can tell you right now, before she even opens her mouth, they're fucking galocks. So, like, either way, I don't give a flying shit. Please hold. 2 hours later. Did get a response, by the way. I was wrong. It's not whiskey. It's bourbon whiskey. I guess I should start accrediting that to the sweetness, because of the process for which bourbon is made. I still stand behind my 5.5. Christine guessed it was a $30 bottle. I guessed it was a $40 bottle. I don't know what NIHAP paid for it, but the best deal I could find was for $39.95. Who's your daddy? And it's Michter's, Michters, Michter's bourbon whiskey. Okay, now that we got all that fun out of the way, first comment. Jesus, see, I don't even know where we are because I turned it off. First was Sonoran Desert Prepper. Multi-Gunman says banned. Sonoran Desert Prepper hit #1. That means he'll probably not watch these anymore now that he's accomplished a lifelong goal. Then he says, at least according to me. Yes. Coleman, 75. I actually turned my volume up. You got me. I hope it was. Thought about that when I saw your comment. It was like, oh God, I hope he wasn't like, just kidding! As the chandelier comes down in the house. I've had this brew. Decent. Cheers. Cheers, Coleman 75. Sorry about that if the volume was... I know I'm a dick. Ben N. 4th. Ben N. 3rd, but claiming 2nd. Well, it was about 1:30 this afternoon, and I looked at my watch and walked in the other room and informed Greg that my watch identifies as 3:01. So we can go. Jolson, this video needs more cowbell and shots. You'll get neither. You know what? Now I'm wondering, Because, you know, I got to clear these things out. If I'm slacking, the flasks need to go into the mail ASAP. I know because I already told NIHOP it was going to happen by now. I mean, I don't think I'm causing any terrible harm, but actually it's going to be very little of it by the Doers is still pretty good. I don't care what you say. And of course this one, just doing my part to empty a flask. Doing my part to clean the flask. Doing my part to put the flask with the other flask. Thursday. I tell you what, NIHOP, worst case scenario is it's in the mail first thing on Monday. But there's a possibility it could be tomorrow or Friday. Plus, you still got the other one. Like I said, that one just, unless it picks up a little steam on its own, is just tastes like the Maker's Mark rye. I know, Cobra's really excited about that. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, I was gonna ring that stupid cowbell. I mean that awesome cowbell. Sorry, Tardisius. Smile Money, top 10. J-Dog, here. Foo Master 2. Double Delicious comes to mind. I have no brew I'm able to snarf down. Wow. Sorry, Rich. Clyde, 6th. Revolution. Gunwild, top 10. Biatches. Multi-Gunman, Whiskey. You sure? I'm never gonna get a whiskey without the E out of you, am I? Yeah, the Scotch. There's only a wee bit left of the Doers, and it really wasn't enough to counter the heavier bourbon-ish. This might turn into the infinity of the last few. This one, I'm just going to kind of let this one creep up on itself and see what happens. Where weren't we? Poco Loco, giant fail on both brew broads. What? Oh. The intro one? Oh, I'm sorry, but I'm just ask my big brother Wade. The better chances that she hits the water in a terrible boat incident and she doesn't go down, I couldn't be happier. Not to mention she had a little MILF bordering on GILF action going on. Poco Loco, Christ, that first one is rough. What are you... What? Who in the hell what was my second one? Good God. That's rough? Okay. And, evidently you didn't like the second one either. I mean, I guess you can't see her eyes, so I don't know exactly, you know. To each his own. No, I mean, I don't know if you've ever sent me any brew babes to filter through what you think is quality. Poco Loco, hashtag fuck cowbell. I carry one. I bought another G20 today. Alcohol was definitely involved. Oh well, cheers. I'm assuming that anybody that follows me follows I Carry One, because I Carry One does a great job, has some cool toys, is definitely on my list to share a little whiskey or scotch, whatever he prefers, and that kind of thing. But you, my friend, got my interest very perked when I saw your Slam Fire shotgun video. It made me do a Google search, because obviously if I was to proceed, I guess I could just call you, and I think I can actually call you. If not, if you hear me say this, some dimensions I wouldn't mind, because obviously the most important thing is the internal dimensions of the barrel being able to hold the shell as the shell goes in. Now, if we had the conversation and we were sharing emails and I could send you some pictures, if I was to take your design to the next level, imagine, without this looking sexual, keying your barrel assembly. In other words, yours right now just goes in and you slam it against the pin and it goes off. The one that I saw, what the gentleman had, is in the receiver part. He had a path cut and then a notch that stuck out of the barrel, so that when you push the barrel in, the barrel would go into that groove, and then you could turn it into another area, which meant when you pushed it forward, you could now, say, put it in a backpack on a sling, and it would stay together as a complete shotgun. And then just to fire it, you just pull it back. So it had like that. It looked like a T. The barrel slid in on this channel, and then you rotated it over and you went forward. Now that forward and backwards was your slide fire, your firing mechanism part of it. And in case you're just going, what the fuck is Eric talking about? A Slam Fire shotgun. It's just basically whatever you want for your receiver, and in there would be a pin in the center. And you put a shell in the barrel, and the barrel is separate from the whole receiver, which a lot of them are, but like I said, this one guy was very creative. He made it so that it could actually stay together as an intact weapon. So on I Carry Ones, you just have your tube, the barrel, and you put the shell in it, and the dimensions are so that it's obviously whatever, and I could take the micrometer and come up with what a 12 gauge shell is on the plastic part, so it would stop when it hit the brass. And then so you just put it in there, and then you put it in and just pull it back and it fires. And I saw a guy that made one, and he put a quad rail on it. I mean, it looked freaking awesome. Quad rail and all of that. And no, like I Carry One will tell you, it is not illegal to make your own. Now, if I Carry One started put up his what was the site, an Etsy site, and started selling Slam Fire 12 gauge shotguns, yeah, you could just. So of course I had to be a smart ass. The very first question I asked him was how much he wanted to sell it for. I would just be fascinated to have a throwdown of your design, or of the dimensions of the parts. Everything else, I would definitely, because it's what I do best, take it to the next level and mount it, or mount something on there so that you could put a rail on it like that one guy did. It looked really good. He had a red dot on his, and he was actually showing the accuracy that he had because of the red dot being on it. I Carry Ones is just really basic. It looks awesome, But I mean, there's no sights of any kind, and it's just a matter of. But I tell you, if you needed it for personal defense or gathering food or making the giggle squad in the background of your video laugh, I don't know why they thought it was so funny. It was cool as hell. It's a great thing. So go check. I mean, I don't need to tell you to go check out his video. I Carry One puts up a video, and like 5 seconds later, it has more views of me interviewing Jesus after a month. And congratulations to him for that. El Tenda, hoo-ha! Yeah, you bitch. Multi-Gunman, vodka, get the fuck out of here right now. No, trust. Since we have started this whole whiskey, scotch, bourbon thing, I haven't touched anything in the back row. I mean, other than that call out on that tequila, and that was actually kind of rough in consideration to all of the above. And of course, I'm standing here with well, first of all, as we move into the Two-Hearted Ed Club, I am going to get another one of the Radio Zombie Phone and Russian Imperial Stouts up, getting a little warming going on. I'm thinking about switching, a little palate cleaner. And all those people following the mass, I'd show you, but you'd just fucking gross, you'd puke. Show you what the inside of my my cheek looks like. Need to start taking medication to deal with stress and anxiety, I think. So I found that, you know, I was recommended to gargle with salt water, but then I also had remembered hearing something about gargling with peroxide. And I was like, okay, I mean, I've dumped it on a wound. It's like, oh my God! But hydrogen peroxide? I don't know if anyone has ever tried it. It has like almost no flavor, negative flavor to it. I'm telling you right now, gargling with salt water is a lot more harsh than hydrogen peroxide. That bitch will tell, I mean, I don't know, she's probably a lovely girl. That bitch, though, will tell you that the proper mix is 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 2 parts water. And I'm trying to avoid dying and having to go to the doctor because it's could get much worse. So I tried 1/3 hydrogen peroxide, then I tried 50-50, and I'm almost to the point where it's going to be like building a sweet one with my father-in-law. It's just going to be hydrogen peroxide and just a splash of water, if any water at all. But yeah, if you have any damage to the inside of your mouth, hydrogen peroxide is like I don't know, maybe start doing shots of that. Just kidding. Just because, and he's not here to say one way or the other. He's now wanted to do brew reviews on 2 separate occasions, and not that I was being a dick, but I had a dermatology appointment on one, and Sunday I just had too much shit going on. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be doing a brew review. So, you know, the Belvini, this is not a cheap. I mean, it's a $60+ bottle of single malt scotch, but boy, there is like nothing to it when you compare it with, take your first step there and go with the Ardbeg, and then step it up again by. They'll step it right to the smoke factory on the Lafroig. We gotta get through this shit. I told Christine this was gonna be a quick one, and John Solar came for the chicks. You know, I sent a few people this. So you go to your wife and go, I've been so busy today, I can't tell if I'm coming or going. And she's like, from the look on your face, you're going, because when you're coming, you look like a fucking stroke victim. John spelt it right. Stephen Bush usually spells it wrong. Okay, let's do this. Poco Loco Street Key. Here they just push a button at the office. From what I understand, they don't have collections either. They just file an arrest warrant on you. This town's run by morons? Mormons? Wow. David Brown, hello, babies. Stephen Bush, I painted the post white. The one he sent were brand new in the box. Jim had sent me a set that same week. I never painted those and have them on my AR pistol. Oh, I'll fucking find a home for. I love that style. I love that. What are they? Well, actually, no. That's the HK style is usually like the rounded top, but not. I like that style. I find aiming very good, and then of course it's also got the white lines back on the back sight. Steven, that is a trigger. That is Trigger Shoe is Serpico's first design, and and they have around 3 or 4 other designs now, along with many Cerakote color options. I'm gonna find a home for it. I'm not quite sure right now because the supposed, well, actually some people poo-pooed them, but I've got that failed design on the G22. The almost every other one, like Blackie here. This is a Lone Wolf adjustable, ultimate adjustable. I'm honestly not sure which brand this one is, but I'm obviously not gonna trade this out. I mean, it's all color matched and shit. And I don't know the final, no pun intended, the final resting place of this. But if I would have left it tarnished, it would have looked just like the barrel. But I travised it and just, spent like 5 seconds with laid it flat on the counter, and so yeah, I don't know. I thought about actually putting it in the G19. The G19 has a a little Celtic cross going on it. And the contrast of this on the black would really be good. I've got a Be Like Ed on both the race gun. That one was in stainless, and I have a Be Like Ed on my G20, which is copper with the black Cerakote, so it stands out on it. But Poco Loco. We're following down the same path as Rome. Most people are too deaf, dumb, and blind to realize it. Who the fuck is that? My little Sammy Poo. And she's sold another car and looking at another one, and the next one is freaking badass. We go back and forth. I still want to get a Subaru WRX STI and do some light modifications to get it to somewhere between 700 and 1,000 horsepower. And Sam was with me, and then got on the express lane, and now she wants a Mitsubishi, and she's looking at an Evo plus some. She's like, yeah, could you get an insurance quote for me? And just tell them it's stock. Cobra Burnout, top 40. Matt Davis, shit, beer time, yep. Matt, my sub pump just stopped running a day ago. Laugh out loud. Now, when you say stopped running, did you say, I'm assuming worst case scenario, as in stopped? I procrastinated a long time. I mean, I can't believe my pump's still alive. I mean, I had a day where I came home towards the end of the winter that I went upstairs to use the bathroom, and as I was sitting on the throne of happiness, my safe place, my millennial drop zone, the harmonics, you just know. You know the sound of your vehicle, you know the sound of your home, and it was just like, that's the sub pump running, and it's still running. So I dropped the kids off at the pool and came downstairs, and sure enough, the pump was running because the discharge tube outside was fucking completely plugged in ice, and the pump, which is sitting under 2+ feet of water, had run so long that the pit water was ready to just dump in some ramen noodles and call it soup. It was like, I was so pissed off. It was like, how many lives, how much time of this poor pump just got used because it sat and ran? It could have failed as I was leaving for work that morning, and then ran all day pumping against itself. So I recently acquired another one. It's not new, but it will work as a backup. Steven, maybe take your G19 and send it off and get milling done. Either Cerakote it, bead blast it, or keep it oiled or tin coat it. That'd be great, Steve. I would absolutely love to doll up my G19. That would definitely take it from the level that it's at to the next level. I mean, I could easily make it look more awesome than the Smith & Wesson. The problem is everything takes money, and right now I'm kind of finding out today that my plans to upgrade my Rock Island are falling through, but eventually, hopefully. But yeah, I know I would love to do something more to the G19. To be totally honest, I'd probably continue to keep the internals about the way they are. I don't really want to compromise the reliability to go, say, full race gun on it, but it would be nice to, make it look like, there's some pretty damn excitingly awesome stuff being done to slides, and I'm sure Mark Peace could definitely help make that happen. Stephen again, I was talking about the trigger, not the back plate. It'll work in the baby Glock. Laugh out loud. I no longer have the baby Glock, Steve. I wish I still did. I like that thing, and of course it was a 9mm. So being that I've kind of surprisingly went away from 40 to back to 9s, but yeah, that was a damn awesome. That was the SS80 build. Hell, that was the slickest out of the box, just perfect, right off the get-go. Some guy even left comments in the video. Oh, you're just gonna have problems. Well, I believe the day we brought it out to the range, me and Nyhap, and I don't remember who else shot it that day, but Nyhap just kept feeding it and feeding it and feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. Not a single problem. Matt Davis, crap, just watched you rack the slide on the counter. Now my Glock needs a new rear sight. Laugh out loud. Plastic sights suck. No, I'm sorry. I swap out. I mean, this would probably be the lowest profile. These are the XS big dots, and I know that even these offer And of course, they're not going to break. And then this guy has got the Mariglow suppressor heights, so I mean, what can't you rack those on? Speaking of racks, Stormy Coyote. There are distractions everywhere nowadays. Football, baseball, basketball, video games, movies, music, and shitty music at that. Television shows, a new phone every year that everyone has to have. For fuck's sakes, there are television screens on the end caps of the aisles at Walmart now. Distractions, distractions, distractions. 1984 is becoming more of a reality every day. Could not agree with you more. Real cold burnout, prayers for Mr. Holster that he is comfortable throughout his hospice care. Zeus, rubber boots and a good poncho. How I survive the crummy weather. Work nights. Cheers, deplorables. Zeus, come to Minnesota with that. Real cover burnout. You're starting these videos too early. I'm still at work usually. Sorry. McLean 5179. Eric, big fan. Will you be my Valentine? You know it. Hey Google. Reminder that I am McLean 5179's Valentine this year, so everybody else can go fuck themselves.
Okay, I'm Klein 5179 Valentine this year so everybody else can go fuck themselves. When do you want to be reminded?
The 14th?
Okay, on Friday. At what time?
Say 4 o'clock.
Okay, on Friday at 4 a.m. To get this reminder on an iPhone, you'll need to download the Google Assistant app.
Hey Google, 4 p.m.
Sure, I've updated the time.
Yeah,
The reminder called
See-
and Klein 5179 Valentine this year so everybody else can go f themselves is now set for Friday at 4 p.m.
Excellent, thank you.
You got it.
My hollow point, you accept gifts? Why? Didn't you tell me?
Listen, you're being rude. You're fake news. You're fake news. Stop being rude. You're fake news.
Joey Cuz, nice shirt. Joey Cuz. It was the fan at the bottom of the stairs. No, it was the fucking Joey, 2 10% beers and some whiskey, you dumb fuck. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to blow up on you. Are you kidding me? Fuck! Wade, prayers for Mr. and Mrs. Holster. May their hearts be comforted and at peace during this time. Wade, if you want peace, prepare for war. The liberals have proven they will not stop till they control everyone and everything. People like Soros and Bloomberg will pay for their barbarians that will invade and destroy our country. Gotta go. My tinfoil hat is overheating. No, you're absolutely right. And the problem is the dumb fucking libtard Democrats are making it happen. I mean, they're standing there on their little soapboxes thinking that they're doing the right thing. Meanwhile, you are being played like a Stradivarius. Fuck. Again, at what point? At what point will you realize you fucked up? The rest of us, I'd rather go down in a ring of fucking brass and blood and die protecting my rights and our countries and doing everything I can to make sure my children and my grandchildren and the generations after that have an America that we grew up in, as opposed to what the libtards are trying to do. I mean, why do you think they want... I mean, they kill more babies with abortions by far than... I mean, Smile Money would be happy to actually get the exact stats for you. But if you look at how many people are killed with a firearm, and I don't know, for the sake of the fun of it, just rule out suicides because they're just, you know, they just don't care about other people and they're self-serving them and that kind of shit. But, you know, if it wasn't for the gun, they could still find another way to do it. They just made it simple. So remove those stats and compare it with abortions. So please, Democrats, especially you libtard douchebags, explain to me how the gun is the dangerous thing. It seems like stupidity and the lack of understanding history and the fact that you want to hand in and you want us to hand in the one thing that keeps you out of the ovens and the shallow graves. I'm sorry, there's enough smart people that you mental midgets unfortunately will weather the storm while you cower while the rest of us protect this great country. And it's getting closer and closer because people are really starting to get fed up. I mean, how exactly did all those people that showed up in Virginia feel when they pushed it through to the next stage anyway? Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for history to be rejuvenated with a little blood. Scotsman, whiskey! You crazy bastard, you. Scotsman... It's not terrible. Me, sitting here, readily available, hands down, is in the other room. But revolution. And with this, I tap out. Crazy Scotsman, Mr. Holster said hospital bed, or Mrs. Holster said hospital bed when she texted me. Figured she meant he was in the hospital. I just hope he's resting and somewhat at peace. Yeah, I truly hope so. Like I said, and not to be a downer, but Mr. Holster, I knew who Mr. Holster was. I mean, at this point in time, I don't care if he gets pissed. I mean, I wish. I wish I actually heard from him. I so miss his smart aleck comments. Him and Jack. But Mr. Holster is part of the old guard. He is a man out of time. If you actually spend some time, you realize that Scott is a man of honor and dignity, and I say what I am going to do, and I do what I say. If he said that he has your back, you know that he would give his in order to save yours. He is the character that Clint Eastwood from the spaghetti westerns in a modern scenario. I know nobody that has the I don't even know what the fucking right words are right now. It's just such a man of honor, and I wish there could be a miracle involved. He is one of a kind. To actually build if it would have been possible, knowing how shit turns out, to have kidnapped Ed and gone out to Mr. and Mrs. Holster and spent some time with Ed there, and just watching like the two of them interact. Two completely different personalities, but cut like from the same cloth. I hope. I hope we have such a thing as a miracle, but it honestly doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good. But he has so many people in his family pulling for him. I mean, I'd be happy to push a miracle his way, but at a bare minimum, I just don't want to know that he is suffering in any way. So I just he's just the kind of guy that I just never, when I found out that he was, when Mrs. Holster and Christine were talking and said that he was basically at home doing hospice care, it was like, he's just not the guy that would, if it was in his power, to leave this plane from a hospital, and would want to do it under his own terms at home. So, Scott, I love you, my friend, and I'm praying that there's a miracle involved, because the times that I've gotten to spend with you are priceless. And if there was some way that the two of us could have been able to afford to take a few more days off, a few days off from work, and stayed out with you and Mrs. Holster, we would have. Smart money. Automatic weapons have been used in 2 crimes since 1934. See, I'm sorry. If you have a half of an ounce of stimulation going on in that gray matter between your ears, Democrat liberal idiots. We can't own semi-automatics for what reason? Please explain to me. I mean, I know you've been brainwashed, and there's no reason that we need to have weapons of war. Oh, really? A 12 gauge in general, let alone a 12 gauge with slugs, is a much more dangerous firearm than an AR-15. I mean, right now, any of you gun guys, if you found out that you're going to get shot in the next 30 minutes, and there is nothing that you can do to avoid the situation of getting shot, the only thing you can do is you can change the weapon that was used on you. The old school shotgun, let's just say that the old school shotgun is some lunatic standing 10 feet away from you. And the only diversion in this whole scenario that you have control over right now, your destiny is 30 minutes from now, you're going to be shot. What do you choose to be shot by? The evil weapon of war, the AR-15. And let's just say you get two choices. You can actually pick the location. You know, maybe a nice meaty area below the pivot point. There's no artery or anything important other than it's going to hurt like a motherfucker. But let's just say the impact point is right here. The shotgun at 10 feet, or that evil weapon of war that they want to take away, and they're doing it. And, you know, Virginia, Arizona's got stuff on the books now, right here. Everybody actually hearing this that actually has a functional fucking brain is going to choose that terrible weapon of war. This almost sounds like a good video for the eBomi channel. 30 minutes from being shot. You choose. Go. I'm doing it. I'm doing that, so don't even think about stealing it. If you did, you better credit me, and then we're going to keep this shit going. But seriously, maybe flood the internet with videos of 30 minutes away from being shot. You get to choose. The evil weapon of war. I mean, it's going to go in, and it's going to come out, and as long as someone's there to stop the bleeding, you're good. It's going to hurt like a motherfucker, and you're going to have a scar forever, but you lived. 10 feet from a shotgun? Especially if that thing has a slug in it, you're gone. Yeah, it's just vapor. These people are so fucking stupid. It isn't. It's just. They're just an absolute joke. And the third, the two crimes, and the third, the Hollywood bank robbery, was committed with modified weapons prior to the 1934 gangsters that had them as their preferred weapons. So, thank you, Smile Money. I always can look forward to you being able to get to the bottom of the facts. So, technically, we'll just give it the 3. 3 crimes since 1934. Modified weapons, 1 time, and 2 full autos. 3 instances since 1934, and this is a fucking epidemic according to the Democrat libtards. So if you don't see the true agenda, then you need to open your eyes. Video coming. Crazy Scotsman. They've been playing the game so long, placing pieces and strategically moving in the direction they want. More and more people not voting, unfortunately, mainly the ones that we need to. I know, exactly. I mean, the Democrats are easy to get out the vote, you know, the dead people that are voting, the Mexican, the fucking illegals that are voting, the people that are voting twice, and yet the rest of us sit on our hands. So, many states turning blue because the people not voting. Let's see 100% participation in every state. Let's turn this country red. Long live the Constitution. Sharky, your Second Amendment will be safe with me. Sure. Tell that to Virginia and even Arizona, of all the places, Mr. President. Anti-Second Amendment legislation is popping up everywhere in the U.S. Sad times. Sharky, Battle Box is so much better than Tac Pack ever was, dollar for dollar. Even the basic kit is so much more useful. I'll happily take the fillet knife off your hands, mate. I'll use it on game and fall too. Those knives are good for all fine cutting on everything dead, which we want to eat. Sharky, it's yours. I have the painting from Lily that I still haven't figured out how to get to you. Oh my God, if you lived in the States, which I don't know if that's a plus or a minus for you, but the bottom line is if you want it, absolutely, I will put it aside for you. Sharky, thoughts and prayers for Mr. Holster. Hope he's without pain and comfortable while being at home with his loved ones. Raise a glass. Mike, that was a mouthful of words for that beer. It's like Joey on a Saturday night. Mike again, I sure do hope Mr. Holster beats it. So do I, my friend. Mike, a very sweet ass fillet knife. Love it. It is wicked looking. And Mr. 27 will round out the last 3 comments. Can we get a sound check on the BrewBomy channel? Mr. 27, 69th. Oh yeah. Mr. 27, A+ for the great brew boobs. See, I agree. And now we move on to the Two-Hearted Ed Club. Oh, first name I see is Cobra. Okay, we got Joey. No, I didn't get this month's battle box. I find that hard to believe, Joey. I figured you're the one that fucked it up for everybody. Really? Knife of the month is a fillet knife. Look at that. 14%. And she's still busting some head. That's impressive, actually. Crazy Scotsman. Crazy Scotsman, I don't care. Call it full homo. Call it what you want. You're part of my family, and I love you, my friend. And I know I don't need to tell you this, but it's a tough battle. It's a tough battle, and you've been on the front line of some hellacious losses in our family. Smile money. Sorry, could not comment as much as usual. My middle brother passed away yesterday, a few days from being 61. Planning a 5 or 6 hour trip across PA on Friday. Smile money. I'm so sorry to hear that. J-Dog, Heart Club, Gunwild, Mike. It's hump day! Cheers, Two-Hearted Ed Club. Thank you, Gunwild. And last, but not last, the Real Cold Burnout. Cheers, Two-Hearted Ed Club. I know this has gone on way too long. I'm going to take these upstairs and enjoy them. Little Lafroig. That great beer. And cheers, guys. And I don't need to tell most of you this, but this is today. And right now is the only given that you have. And keep Mr. and Mrs. Holster in your prayers.